Guys, hello and welcome to part 11 of Let's Play Mass Effect 2.
He's a soldier. It'll take a lot more than that to keep him down.
There's something about him. I just want to hold him close and whisper, it will be all right.
Are you attracted to other species?
Well, part of my job is predicting the motives and feelings of humans and aliens. Intimacy brings understanding. And passion is nice wherever you find it. Character matters, not race or gender. Anything else, Commander?
Do you have a moment to talk?
I always have time for you, Commander.
I better go.
Okay.
Maybe we'll talk later.
All I actually did was talk to my new party members so we can
Thank you, Commander. Rupert put the new supplies to good use.
It was really weird because there's only dialogues that were screwed up.
Shepard, need me for something?
Have you got a minute?
Sure. Just checking the weapon systems. You can never be too careful. I thought I'd seen every weapon in the galaxy in our fight against Saren. Mercenary work showed me otherwise. And now Cerberus rebuilds the Normandy with a few upgrades to boot. I wish we'd joined up with them sooner.
We haven't joined Cerberus. They're funding our mission. That's all.
Relax, Shepard. Just a figure of speech. I can't exactly doubt your judgment. Not after I got my own squad killed.
What did your merc squad do? Didn't sound like you were available for hire.
You saw Omega. It was full of thugs kicking the helpless. I formed my team to kick back. We weren't mercenaries. At least nobody was paying us. We made money by taking down slavers, pirates, or gangs that went too far.
It sounds like you were just another gang.
Then I'm saying it wrong. We didn't shake anyone down. No civilian casualties. That was our rule. Every member of my team had lost someone to Omega's gangs. We weren't out to get rich. We were out to make those bastards think twice before murdering someone in the street.
How'd you end up fighting mercenaries here on Omega?
I went back to CSEC after the Normandy was destroyed, but with all the rebuilding at the Citadel, there was too much chaos for me to really help. Omega was filled with criminals nobody else could touch, and there was no red tape to slow me down. It was a perfect fit. People here needed someone to believe in, someone to stand up to the local thugs.
That explains how you started. How'd you end up with a squad?
Not too different from how you formed your squad to fight Saren, actually. You prove that you get things done, and people join up. Mercs who wanted to atone. Security consultants tired of playing by the rules. I gave them hope. And now they're dead. Shows what I know.
Tell me about your squad.
There were 12 of us, including me. Former military operatives, CSEC agents, the usual. Had a Solarian explosives expert. Pretty sure he'd spent time in the Special Tasks Group. My tech expert was a Batarian, believe it or not. Not the friendliest guy, but he could hack any system ever built.
Tell me about your squad.
There were 12. Had a My tech expert was a Batarian, believe it or not.
How did those mercenary gangs take down your team?
It was my own damn fault. One of my people betrayed me. A Turian named Sidonis. He drew me away just before the mercs attacked my squad. Then he disappeared. Everyone except me is dead because of him. And because I didn't see it coming.
I'm not sure I understand. What happened exactly?
Sidonis asked for my help on a job. When I got to the meeting point, nobody was there. By the time I got back to our hideout, the mercs had killed all but 2 of my squad. And they didn't last long.
Have you found him?
Do you know where Sidonis is now?
No. His trail vanishes after he leaves Omega, but I'll keep hunting. I lost my whole team except for Sidonis. One day I'll find him and correct that. Thanks for coming by, Shepard. I've got some things to take care of.
You got things to take care of, huh?
People are talking out there, and I hear it all. That painting has a special place in my heart. An art collector hired me to steal it. When I got there, the painting was gone. On the way out, I saw it being hauled off by another thief. I chased him down, tackled him, and took the painting. That's how KG and I met. We never did turn it into our employers. The Red Rose. That used to be my calling card when I first started out. In place of whatever I took, I left a single red rose. It wasn't until I met KG that I realized how silly it was. He had a way of making you realize when you were just being sentimental. I stole that on a dare, believe it or not. There was a big museum show coming to Ilium. Artifacts from Earth going on tour. Very high security. KG dared me to steal this. So I broke in, hacked the security, put a few guards to sleep, and replaced the piece with a worthless duplicate. They never knew the difference. My first museum job. Nowhere near the last. That's my favorite piece, painted for me by a child prodigy from Elysium. She was the cutest thing. She was kidnapped by slavers who hoped to sell her on Omega. I wasn't about to let that happen. I set up an idea as a buyer's rep to get a special tour of the slaver's vessel. Once aboard, I freed the girl and smuggled her off the ship. She painted that for me on the way home. I'll never forget how it felt to watch her work. Don't laugh, I like those books. Romance novels, crime novels, the classics. There's something about the feel of actual paper in your hands, their musty smell. It's relaxing. KG used to find books for me while on the job. Some of these are more valuable than the objects he was hired to steal. I usually travel hidden away in cargo bays. It's nice to be able to look out a window for a change.
Yeah, you can just mix up drinks. Dump in red and blue. I think it just takes 2 of these before you're quote-unquote drunk. I think the result is the same. Yeah, it's pretty much the same.
Shepard, the women's restroom is on the starboard side of the ship.
You don't say. Alright. We'll head to our cabin quick. Drunkenly feed our fish and say hello to our hamster. Back to the CIC. Private terminal, unread messages. So I've been asked to look into the situation on Lorik, a planet of the Father system. I believe that Eclipse is holding an operative, and they want him retrieved. And Emily Wong wants an interview. And this kid that we told not to go on the Merc mission ended up being thankful for it. Daniel thanks us for saving his life and talks about how he hasn't really seen anger. Facial scars we did, and we got the crash data. So we just leave the 2 active missions out there. Go to Garrus. And we're going to go with Renegade.
Judging by the quarantine reports, the plague has been completely eradicated, Shepard. I have also run searches for reports on Archangel. The various mercenary groups appear to believe that he is dead.
Works for me.
That would be because all the leaders are dead too. The people that are left don't really know anything.
You want to talk? Talk to Aria.
What do you need? This data pad was on one of the mercs going after Archangel. We're coming for you next. Let me see. Interesting. Would someone like to tell me how this information slipped the net?
I'll look into it.
Thanks for the heads up, Shepard. Looks like I'll have to do a little cleaning in my organization.
That's all for her.
Come back later. You do that.
Aria has a job she needs doing. You up for some work?
That depends on what Arya has in mind.
Aria's gotten word that some blood-packed mercs plan to kill an old acquaintance of hers. A Krogan named Patriarch. She'd like you to keep that from happening.
What's the Blood Pack's problem with Patriarch?
If you've met Patriarch, you know. He can't keep his damn mouth shut. Some people don't appreciate his stories. Especially when he dips into non-fiction.
What's Arya's interest in protecting him?
Patriarch was one of her deadliest enemies back in the old days. Now she keeps what's left of him around as a trophy. As long as he lives, he's a perfect example of what happens when you go up against Arya.
Why come to me? Arya's usual muscle not up for the job?
Because Arya said so. What other reason do you need?
People like Arya don't do things without a damn good reason. I want to hear it.
Fine, but I didn't tell you this. Got me? If it gets out that Arya's protecting Patriarch, well, that can look like a weakness. And some people might want to exploit that. You're not on her payroll, so you helping Patriarch just seems like a random act of kindness.
Alright.
I'll look into it.
Good. Patriarch's downstairs, likely surrounded by his fans. Get him into hiding until the mercs move on. Come back here when it's done. You'll get your due.
Alright.
Back when the job's done.
Good luck.
Find the Patriarch. He's down here in the afterlife.
The Destiny Ascension has completed its 20 colony victory cruise. Council members aboard thanked Human Alliance soldiers for their efforts in repelling Saren's invasion 2 years ago.
You again. Greetings.
Some people want you dead. I've been asked to move you to safety.
Well, of course. Arya wouldn't want me hurt. It would make her look bad. Perhaps Arya's reputation is no longer my concern. Perhaps I will stay. See who thinks me important enough to kill.
Here's an idea. Let me handle the assassins for you.
And so your name grows, while I remain an old man who lets others fight his battle.
No. You remain a powerful warlord with forces at his command. Not just Arya's trophy.
Well, you could be my Trent, fighting for my honor. If you would do this for me, I would be grateful. I might even be a Krogan again.
Find the thugs.
nothing of the assassins. Do you have news? Or have you changed your mind? Shall I slink back to the safety of Arya's protection?
I should be going.
Alright. So I have to find the assassins.
Welcome to Afterlife. How may I serve you?
I'm good for now.
Of course. Thank you.
I got a mate and a ship. I only brought one. This ship tastes like there's another.
Out of our way, human.
You here for Patriarch?
What if we are? You gonna do something about it?
Patriarch sent us. Said to do whatever it takes.
You're Patriarch's Krat? I wasn't aware the old man had one.
You should have done your homework.
Alright.
You killed them all. And everyone knows that the Patriarch is not to be crossed. Thanks to you, Arya may think of me as more than a trophy. A real advisor, maybe. Or even a threat.
Don't waste this.
Use this. Don't ever let anyone think you're weak again.
Thanks to you, I am Rook Rogan. By the way, be careful with Arya. She will approve of what you've done, I think. But not of you altering the balance of Omega. I think it reminds her too much of herself.
No, Renegade.
Arya wants to speak with you. She heard you took on the Blood Pact assassins yourself. Wouldn't keep her waiting.
Word has it that Patriarch's Krant took out the men sent here to kill him. Funny, I didn't know he had a Krant.
Patriarch has more influence than you thought.
I see. Well, maybe I should watch my back then. It's not what I asked, but you got the job done. You've done a lot for me, Shepard. Let me return the favor. We're sending your coordinates to a cache on an uncharted world. You want it? It's yours.
Can use any help we can get.
Whatever you find is yours to deal with.
Okay. Interesting.
You friendly enough to talk about who you were before Omega?
You're reaching back centuries, Shepard. Long before anything that humanity knew.
So why keep it secret?
No reason, from your perspective. But there are plenty of people out there with long memories. I've had a few careers, a few names. Commando training, mercenary leanings. I've kept what was valuable and dropped the baggage.
Old enemies mean old friends.
You're important, but also isolated. No other allies out there to back you up?
I lean toward a particular type of work. It tends to encourage professional rivalry. Sometimes you'd rather disappear than be forced to kill someone.
I thought you were in charge. Why so scared of your past?
I have nothing to fear on Omega. That doesn't mean I want to broadcast my past to the galaxy. You'd be surprised how long some entities can hold a grudge. This little exercise with Patriarch? A footnote. Not even the first Krogan I've pissed off.
You couldn't have started here with nothing. You must have been someone important.
I've always been important, even if others didn't recognize it. So yes, I had money to start this operation. I also had creditors who thought they were more entitled to it. I let them chase a ghost. Or several. It's relatively easy to outlive a Solarian, but not their record-keeping.
Alright, I'll drop it.
Better luck next time.
Sounds like you and Patriarch have a history.
Our history is Omega's history. Long, bloody, and always ending in my favor. The details are complicated. When I arrived, Omega was lawless, a land of opportunity. I built alliances and destroyed the fools who wouldn't get in line, which was most of them. But Patriarch was something different. A powerful friend.
Surprised you were ever anything but rivals.
We were allies for 100 years. I suppose he decided that was long enough. Wasn't a surprise when he turned. He controlled the muscle, my people contributed more subtle action. Espionage, politics, assassination. Fortunately for me, his men had become accustomed to certain benefits of working with Asari.
Superior intel? Assassination?
That's cute. No, I took advantage of certain skills my people try to downplay. Patriarch's men abandoned him in troves. In the end, we fought face to face.
That one of the sexy times.
Very spot. The toughest fight of my life. But of course I won.
Patriarch doesn't sound like something an Asari would come up with.
I found it humorous. He wanted power. And we pretended he had it with a word that doesn't exist for my people. I eventually found a certain respect for the title and the job.
So you kept him around as a trophy?
I did. A trophy and an example. Whenever someone thought about taking me on, I pointed them to Patriarch. Dignity is one of the few commodities not available on Omega.
Alright.
Interesting. Let's move on.
Do you need something else?
And the rest of these dialogues we've already exhausted.
Maybe I'll come back later.
You should find a nice young man to keep you warm in the meantime. You look like you need to loosen up.
Oh. Creds.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah, we need more money to clean out the stores on Omega. So we will be back in a little bit.
Come on, let me in.
The stores have more than more credits worth of things to buy than we have, so we're just gonna skip the flyby dialogue, and we'll open up our galactic map. So the Fathar system. Quite a few systems here, actually. Looks like 3 planets, which... Nirog, hydrogen methane gas giant. Moons were once home to Esthul, a Batarian warlord who terrorized the Terminus systems. Attempting to unite a pirate army under his banner, he successfully conducted a rapid blitz against 11 habitable planets. Fortunately for the rest of the galaxy, Esthul's crimes caught the attention of the Spectres, who deduced his hidden location and assassinated him. The Sul's empire, built on a hyper-extended army, soon came crashing down. He lost stockpiles of Element Zero. His lost stockpiles of Element Zero become something of a legend, and foolish spacers have spent countless amounts of time and money searching the Batella system, convinced they'll be the ones that finally strike it rich.
Probe away. Launching probe. Launching probe.
There's not a whole lot of anything on this.
Probe launched.
There's platinum. Yeah, we need the platinum more than the palladium. It's not really worth it, I don't think. 33, okay, there's 3 planets in this system. Strange Island Peace in the Lawless Terminus system. Thuna Wanuru is a planet of crushing gravity but abundant life. 6.7G, ooh. It's ponderous. As its ponderous name indicates, it's colonized by the Elcor, who have several booming industries on this planet. Hydraulic dams and biofuels from tough wood algae provide much of the planet's energy. Mines export uranium, thorium, and gold, taken to space with generous use of mass effect fields. Of course, the pirates. Pirates target the Elcor shipping as soon as it leaves orbit, but the Elcor's deals with the mercenary companies keep whale but the most foolhardy of attackers.
Launched.
So it looks like we have good resources here. Oh, there's some Element Zero.
Launching probe. Launching probe.
Yeah, we need to find platinum, and it looks like this planet does have it in a bit of abundance. There we go.
Probe away.
Oh, that's a good vein.
Launched. Launching probe. Launching
Zero.
probe away.
Ooh. Still technically good resources. Although I'm not sure where... Okay, there's some palladium down here. And we flip down to moderate. And I'm having a hard time finding other major veins, so we'll just move on. Step above a carbonaceous world. Ligastrol is a planet with carbon-heavy crust and trace atmosphere of CO2 and helium. So it is cool enough to have liquid water, but it is rapidly drying out as it has lost its critical mass to have a self-sustaining hydrologic cycle. Nevertheless, the Batarians have colonized the world, forcing slaves to work in their mines and agri-habitats. Labor is hot, endless, and backbreaking, even as low-G environment. Every horror story told by slaves elsewhere in the cluster seems to be topped by one from La Gracierie. The most famous is that of the slaver Silperon, who worked to death 420 slaves over the course of a galactic standard year and ground up their bodies for compost in his greenhouse. He was eventually poisoned by his wife, but his shadow in his business model still hangs over the miserable planet. This planet's basically been mined out.
Probe away.
Lots of palladium.
Probe launched.
Platinum.
Launching probe. Launching probe.
We're just looking for like really good veins. Otherwise, it's not really worth, you know, punching. Yeah, well, we're gonna say that's not quite good enough. All right. Quite a few systems to actually glean through here. All right, what we're gonna do. We were given the coordinates of a would it be in Codex? Or is it in our private terminal? No, it's not anywhere. Weird. I was going to look into it, but I guess... Alright, well, we'll just explore these systems then. Looks like there's only one planet in this system? Punished with UV and gamma radiation from the Class F star, it orbits. Utha is no one's first choice for a planet to land on. Covered in seawater, Utha has a hydrosphere and ozone layer similar to Earth's, but that simply isn't enough to ward off the life-killing radiation. Nitrogen-rich oxygen poor atmosphere goes unchanged by the few proteins that have managed to form in the ocean's depths. Utha, however, is served as a way station for slaves escaping their Batarian masters. The little land it has is tectonically stable, and considerable radiation belt electrical storm Grant cover for many common types of sensors. Fleeing ships typically hide on Utha long enough to discharge their drive cores and stock up on deuterium before trying to make it to the cluster's mass relay. And this planet is absolutely rich in resources. Woo!
Launching probe.
platinum, we need more than palladium. Uh-oh, we're down to just good now. Again, we want the big spikes, not like spikes like that. We don't really. Spikes like that are what we're looking for. And moderate, but there's a huge vein of platinum. And now it's poor. Alright. It's basically all we're here for is those resources. Three planets in this system. Stony planet encased in ice under a methane-heavy sky, named for the UN Consortium, the Batarian manufacturing firm that financed its exploration. UN Oach crust provides most of the boron allotropes used in Omnigel throughout the terminus systems. There is naturally become a haven for pirates who attempt to steal the refined gel or its ingredients as soon as the cargo ships leave the atmosphere.
Probe launched.
We may need to come back for more probes.
Probe away.
Woo!
Probe launched.
Yeah, palladium tends to be the easiest resource to find. Or at least it just feels that way, I guess. There's a platinum vein, gotta go yoink. Uh-oh. We're falling to just good.
Launching probe.
Moderate, and then there's some iridium. I think that's gonna drain it further.
Probe launched.
Yeah. Vatar. Located within the life zone of a dimming orange sun, Vatar would be habitable except for its carbon dioxide atmosphere and an icy surface that kills most oxygen-producing bacteria. Nonetheless, mercenary companies and enslavers have numerous strongholds on the planet out of reach of any galactic authority. Travel advisory. A statistically significant number of distress signals have originated within the 1 mile-kilometer mark of Vatar. Civilian travel is not advised. But Vatar has rich resources. So, you know, hey.
Launching probe. Launching probe.
Alright, we've gone from rich to good in just a couple of
Probe away.
probes. There.
Probe launched.
And just trying to hit
Launching probe.
the majority of the platinum. And that's probably the remainder of the resources. That's enough to bring it down to moderate. And that's probably the rest of them. And then we have Sator, a rocky planet with a crushing atmosphere. Sator has been scanned from orbit but largely left unexplored due to sweltering conditions. Its atmosphere contains nitrogen but also an unusually high percentage of ethane, which can coalesce in pockets near the surface. The aluminum-heavy crust of the planet can reach glowing hot temperatures during the daytime, reaching the ethane's auto-ignition temperature and cracking pockets of flame across the landscape. For this reason, extravehicular activities are discouraged on Sator, and no company has been willing to invest in an exploration. Ooh. Rich resources. Hopefully we have enough. I haven't hit anything. Right about there.
Probe away.
Yeah. Peaceful little tune in the background playing. We're still rich.
Probe away.
We will get to work on stripping the planet of every valuable resource it has. Which we've already done some work on because it's good. Now it's simply good. Bam!
Probe launched. Probe away.
3 probes left. Ooh, a 3 for...
Launched.
And we still have a good level of resources.
Probe away.
But now it's down to moderate.
Probe launched.
Looks like there's mostly palladium left. A little bit of platinum right about in there. Nothing worth like losing our shirt over.
Only half our fuel remains.
Yeah, relax. Buy up probes and we'll head to the Fathar system, which is going to break some stuff up here. Looks like another 3 planets. And so on and so forth.